I'd just like to begin with briefly talking about what human design is and where it originates. So, the human design system was founded by a gentleman called Ra Uru Hu, and it's basically the science of differentiation. So, the this and that of the Maya or the world we live in today. Human design uses the I Ching, astrology, the Kabbalah, and the quantum physics, as well as the Hindu Brahmin chakra system. And it basically puts it all together and gives you a good aspect of who you are and the energy you represent on the planet.
Very interesting.
Yes.
Mhm.
Hey there, beautiful souls. It's your girl, Allie, and we're back at it again for another episode of Living Life Consciously. Today, we have a special guest who is going to teach us all about something called human design. But before we get into it, I'm going to allow everybody to say hello. So, Justin.
Hey, everybody, it's Justin with Living Life Consciously. Glad to be here as always, and I'm very excited that we have Donald on as our guest. I hope you guys are looking forward to this conversation.
And I'm Leslie, your love-lit co-host, also an eternal spiritual being having a very temporary human experience. And I'm excited to be here with Donald to introduce to everyone the human design, which I am recently exploring and find fascinating, and I think you will too.
Donald.
Oh, hi, and my name's Donald.
Hello. All right. For our audience, special guest Donald has a passion for human design and has been studying it since 2022. Since discovering it, he has dived deep into the subject and is mostly self-taught. HD has helped him make sense of his life and is here to share this intricate system and provide a bit of direction for anyone interested in learning more about it. Today, Donald will share my and Leslie's chart and teach us the ins and outs of what it means. Looking forward towards the future, Donald plans on creating a business out of HD and putting out offers to teach others about their own designs and how to live their best life according to it. Donald, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate you taking your time out to teach us and everybody else about it. And just for the audience to know, previously before we got on this call, Leslie and I provided our information to Donald so that he could pull up our own specific charts. So we got those to look into, and we're going to get into that right now. Okay, cool. So should we move on to Leslie's?
Sure.
Okay.
It's your turn, girlfriend. It's your turn.
Oh, I was going to mention I also did a soul realignment,
Mhm.
accessing the Akashic records with my spiritual therapist.
How'd that go?
And I felt like I didn't get the full reading yet, but I pretty much it's basically divine truth, and that I need to like speak my truth, and also seeing the bigger picture. Like, so a lot of what she basically has given me so far of that, I felt like also like tied into what I understand so far about who I am.
That's good.
So right off the bat, Allie and I are noticing angel numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we see 14.3, which is I love you. We've got the 55.5 up at the top on the right.
That one.
You got 0.1, 0.1, 0.1, 0.1 in a row.
11, 11. Oh, yeah, down.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so it looks like Leslie is an emotional projector. What does that mean?
Okay, so projectors They're here to integrate with others out of curiosity. Um, they're here to be intuitive guides for others, and they work best one-on-one or as the leader of a group. So their aura is focused and penetrating. So when they're in the presence of someone else, they're able to see deeply into that other person, into the identity of them. And that's how they're able to guide people so well. Does that make any sense, Leslie?
Yes, I can feel that. I feel like I can do that.
So your strategy as a projector is to wait for the invitation, and recognition is very important. So it's about noticing who's really seeing you in life, who recognizes you for your gifts, talents, or abilities, and who is ready to be guided by you. Because if you start guiding people without them asking you, they'll you may come off as needy or other stuff like that, or they may push you away because they're just not ready to hear what you have to say.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have emotional authority. So this is how.
And
Sorry.
I feel like I've probably experienced more of the yeah, like I think I've been going with not being invited like my whole life. Okay.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah. No, but it's good because now you can recognize that, and a good strategy for you is to what is it? Play hard to get with people, because that will push away anyone who is really looking for you. Will just keep on pursuing and pursuing and pursuing, and you'll know that they're right for you if you're playing hard
Ah.
to get. Yeah. So it's kind of like this. That's kind of your place of empowerment, right? With a projector, you're always recognized. So I'm not a projector, but I'm a generator, and projectors are basically here to guide the energy of generators. Um, to help us, uh, figure out what we love to do ourselves, and work
I'm like a
efficiently and use
reflector,
our
a
energy.
projector, reflector. Could you say that? Like, could you use reflector for as a way? Like, I help
Oh
to.
well, reflectors an actual type as well. About
Oh,
one
it
percent of the
is. I
population.
forgot.
Yeah, about
Okay,
one
never
percent of
mind.
people are
I
reflectors.
forgot. Sorry. Okay. Let's go on. Go ahead.
Reflectors are really interesting, but we don't have
Yeah,
one to
they're a
talk about.
very small percentage. It was like, I don't know, 1 or 2% or something.
Yeah, yeah, it's one
Okay.
1% of people are reflectors,
Wow.
and they're kind of like the canary in the coal mine. So if they're in the wrong environment, like a bad energy environment, they're going to start feeling sick and everything. And
Oh,
if they're in a good environment, they're going to be healthy. So it's who's around them and stuff, and all their centers are open, but they're kind of like Teflon. So a lot of the conditioning doesn't stick. But when you meet a reflector, they basically can reflect themselves upon you, and they know exactly kind of who you are and your energy and stuff. And they have lunar authority, which is kind of interesting. So as the moon changes, it takes them 28 days to actually come to a decision.
wow. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Have you ever met one?
Just once. Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. Only
They're that
one.
rare, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. 1 in 100.
Oh, okay.
And then they also have to find human design, right? It's even harder to find a reflector.
Right.
But there's a lot of reflector videos on YouTube, and a lot of them, I guess this kind of ties into the autism things, is they do a lot of masking because they're not sure how to act in public. So they're kind of like mimicking what other people are doing, like facial expressions and whatnot, to try and fit in
Huh.
because they're mirroring the other person.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Interesting.
they've got a really interesting a role in life.
Okay.
Yeah, so they can measure the health of your company if they're in there. They can say, over time, this department's unhealthy because of this or that department's not healthy.
Interesting. So
caring for
there's
animals.
generators, and then there's manifesting generators, right? And then there's
Yeah.
projectors, and then reflectors. Is there another one?
And manifestors.
Oh, just manifestors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Manifestor, yeah, the difference between a manifestor and a manifesting generator is the manifesting generator has their sacral defined, and a manifestor doesn't have their sacral defined, and they're actually the only type that's here to initiate. But informing people, so to reduce the resistance in their life, it's all about informing people, telling them what they're going to be doing, because there's a natural distrust because of their aura type, which is closed and repelling. So they can feel very alone, and informing people of what they're doing is not something that comes natural. For example, my daughter is a manifestor, my youngest daughter. So I'm trying to teach her to inform people, like, tell us when you're going to leave the house, and tell us when you're going to eat the last box of cookies and all that stuff.
Trying to create good habits now, right?
That's awesome that
Yeah.
you're teaching for her human design. I mean, that's awesome. Okay.
Yeah, that's part of the way it's changing my life, is I get to use it with my children, and I get to see it in my wife and family members and stuff.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah,
dived into others HD yet, but I will. I plan to do that for sure.
How important is it to know the exact minute that you were born?
Very, right?
Yeah, the minute could change you from a projector to a generator, right? If the gate changed places.
Oh, okay. Because
Yeah.
I think I know when I was born, but I'm not 100% sure. I think it was 6:25 or 6:26 in
You
the
should
morning.
probably wait to see if you could find out exactly, because like you just said, if you're 1 minute off, it'll change the whole result of what you get.
Oh,
Like Leslie had to go to the
Not always.
courthouse to get her birth chart, or to get her birth certificate, so that
Okay.
her chart would be accurate, which is
okay.
dedication, by the way.
Well, I think I have my birth certificate in the closet.
Okay.
Do my birth chart for like years and years, and I never. So like this, like pretty much. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get it. I've just been without birth certificate for most of my life. But anyway, I finally got it, but I'm so happy I did.
All right. So I guess we'll get to your authority, Leslie, if that's all right.
Okay.
Okay, so you have an emotional authority. So this is about waiting out your emotional wave for clarity. So making decisions when you're really happy or really down isn't a good time to make a decision on something. It's kind of when you're kind of neutral about the decision you're going to make is the best time. So that's how you gain clarities over time.
Okay.
So you may have noticed if you're making decisions from high or low, or if something provokes you, then it's usually not a good decision, and you could end up by feeling the not self theme of the projector, which is bitterness.
Okay.
That sounds like that's accurate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
So
just based
signature-
off of your reaction. Sorry.
No worries.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes the information in the system just kind of like shocks you, like, yeah, and you don't know what to do with it. But it's good. It's like a signpost. So when you're feeling bitter, don't be upset at that. That's kind of like telling you, oh, okay, like, where did I go wrong? Did I not wait enough time? And it's about learning about your own emotional wave, right? This is all for like helping yourself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm feeling that. I'm getting that, and I'm understanding that, and so yeah, I'm already like trying to embody it without even fully understanding. But I'm like, whatever I'm registering, I'm already like putting into practice.
Good for you.
yeah. And your the signature of the projector is success. So feeling successful, right? There may be times in your life when you felt really successful after being invited to help someone out with something, and you just maybe felt like you're on top of the world, right?
Yeah,
So
I'm good about
like
what I'm doing with Allie. Like if I could I
I
could
was about to
correlate
say.
that, like, I mean, like, I totally feel like, yeah, it's giving me joy to do this. I feel like I'm doing something that, like, I want to, spread the message, of HD, but also love and like who we are, that we are eternal spiritual beings having a temporary human experience. And I'm like all about like just trying to like do that. And so, yeah, Allie's helped me give me an outlet for that, which is interesting with the projector and the generator. Like, so I, in a way, Allie and I'm basically doing the projector thing and the generator thing with Allie, right? Would you say?
Mm-hmm.
And Justin, obviously, like doing the
Yeah.
Are you advising Allie?
the invitation, and like her inviting me to be a host, you know what I mean? Like, I went with that. I felt good about that. You know what I mean?
And she is advising me because she is suggesting people for me to interview, and we have a whole forum thing on the server full of different people that we've either already spoken to or are about to speak to or are speaking to now. And yeah, she advises me on who we should interview and what direction she would like to see this project go in. So yeah, that's accurate, Donald.
Yeah, I think you guys complement each other.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
High five, Leslie.
Actually, what's super interesting is, Allie, you're kind of on Leslie's path in life, her nodes. So
you can tell that?
Yeah, because her nodes are the south and the north node here, the south and the north. So she's going to be seeing people who are opportunists like you. And she's going to be, and in her environment, she's going to have all these authority figures or investigators as well.
So this is confirmation that we're soul fam. That's how I'm taking it.
Yeah.
and plus, she's got the 7 and the 13, which are your sun and earth gates, right?
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
that's right.
Yeah.
We have matching alignments, I guess. I don't know what I'm saying.
Oh, she's kind of on your nodal path. Allie's on your nodal path, Leslie.
Yeah,
Wow.
I guess I don't understand that language all the way, but you understand?
Yeah. Yeah, I won't get into the nodes today, but it's kind of like your where you're going in life. So your self nodes your self nodes are all about like when you're around 30 years old. That's when the self nodes kick in. Sometimes they call it in astrology Saturn return.
Oh, okay.
And your north node, kind of when you hit around 42 years of age, and it's your Uranus opposition, which is kind of like where you see a lot of people having midlife crisis and stuff because their life's direction has changed, right?
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like Uranian beings. We live around 84 years age on average. So about midlife is when your nodes really change and you start becoming something new. So that's when I had my spiritual awakening when I turned 42, and
oh,
and
really?
it's still going on. I think until May the 27th next year is mine will continue on. And then I'm not sure what happens after that. I'm still learning about it.
Okay.
To be determined.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, so
Yeah,
between
it's like
42 and 44.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like the product manual of your life is in this little body chart here.
Cool.
I want to know mine.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do another episode where we go over Justin's.
So you were talking about the inner authority.
Yeah, so it's about waiting. It's not about don't make decisions on emotional highs or lows.
Yes.
Like kind of feel out the situation. So when someone invites you to something, the best approach is to say, I'll think about it. Right? So you tell them that you'll think about it, tell them the next day, have a sleep on it, and see how you feel in the morning about the invitation.
Okay.
Right? Like if someone came to you and said, oh, Leslie, I think you'd be great for this job offer. And if you just said yes right there and then, like when your emotions aren't clear about it, it may turn out poorly for you.
Okay.
Because maybe they're just thinking, oh, Leslie is really good at doing a lot of boxes, right? And then that would just tire you out all day and you're not doing what you love, right?
Right. Okay.
Yeah. But maybe if they were like, maybe if the invite was like, you know, to lead a team or something, it might be something more up your alley.
So what if like I got an invite and I got excited about it because I'm like, ooh, that sounds awesome. Like I still wouldn't want to like just say yes to something I felt instantly like my intuition was like, yeah, do it. What about that?
Yeah, as soon as you, yeah, I would say sleep on that.
Okay.
And if you, yeah, and if you woke up in the morning and you're like kind of like neutral about it, and you're like, yeah, it's still a good invitation, then that's a great time to kind of lean into that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we talked about your signature being success, and so the thing with projectors is they're kind of taught to be generators or manifestors from the time they're born. So it's all about like doing and making things happen and trying to keep up with everybody. So that's usually a big conditioning field for a lot of projectors.
Yes, I was surprised to learn that we should not work more than like 3 or 4 hours at a time or a day. I can't remember exactly what it was, but yeah, that like basically we will get burnout and we need like lots of rest. Which
So you're kind of, yeah. Oh, sorry. I was just going to say you do have two defined motor centers. So the root center is a motor center, and the solar plexus is a motor center. So you have more energy than some other projectors.
oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's, you know, for you, it's about, am I using my energy correctly, right?
Uh-huh.
Because it's still limited. There's 4 motor centers in the body graph: the sacral, the root, the solar plexus, and the ego center or the heart center. These are all motor centers. But the most consistent one is the sacral center, which is like this pure life force energy.
So do I not have
That
that?
well, it's not consistent.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you kind of need like something to hook up to it for it to be consistent. So if one of the planets is in, you know, gate 2 over here or gate 46, you'll have a bit more energy.
So depending on
But
where
as soon as the planet
what's going
leaves, you may lose the energy. Yeah.
so where the planets are affects me. Okay.
It affects everybody. This is the whole neutrino stream we were talking about earlier. So each of the planets filter the neutrinos, and then they kind of hit us as well.
Okay.
This is more important for manifestor, like to know where the planets are for manifestors and reflectors, because reflectors are lunar beings. They're more impacted by the what the program, as some people call it. Yeah. So the
So I'm
program
not
kind of determines.
I'm not
Right?
I feel like I could be impacted by, you know, the planets.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, you're impacted. Like everybody's impacted, but it impacts them more. They're just they're more in tune with the moon and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
We're all impacted by these energies. This
yeah.
is a couple of days ago we had the whole 3420 channel going on. So this is all about people displaying their power right in the now. So, you know, maybe people getting aggressive and cutting people off in traffic, or you know, it could be displayed in any way, right?
Yeah, I can see in the future, like instead of people just saying it's a full moon, people are gonna be crazy. They're gonna be like, you know, channel whatever's opening up, and that's what it's gonna be like in 20 years or something.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So it says, like most people, you were likely taught to make things happen through doing. However, you may have found that you simply don't have the same energy resources everyone else. Trying to keep up through doing can lead to burnout after a number of years. This means that using your energy efficiently and resting when necessary is very important for your health. Would you agree with that, Leslie?
Yes, I would.
All
I
right.
have
So now
definitely
just talk.
burnout.
I'll talk about your centers now. So your strengths are your G center, which is love, identity, and direction. So similar to Allie, right? You
And
have
that
an inner
and
sense
that's
of who you are, and where you're going.
and that's the diamond in the middle.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then your spleen is defined. So this is your instincts, intuition, and survival. So this is the ability to release things that are not good for you. It's kind of like having instincts and stuff.
Mm.
Your solar plexus on the other side, which is your emotional intelligence. So this is the ability to confront people and handling of the truth. Your root center is defined. So this is your adrenaline. So this is ability to perform consistently under pressure. And your throat center is defined. So this is your communication and action. So this is having good timing on when to speak or act and not really feeling pressured to do either of those things in situations.
Pressure to do what?
Like yeah.
Not having pressure
Yeah,
or
so it's like a pressure to speak or act when no one else is speaking. Like
oh
Leslie
yeah.
doesn't really have yeah,
Mhm.
but she has it defined at center.
Okay.
So where you can get pulled off track, so these are your open centers. Of course, your heart and ego. So feeling like you have something to prove to yourself or others, or making commitments and not following through.
Mm.
When I first came to human design and I found out that my heart was open, which was a big one for me, I just started telling myself that I really didn't have anything to prove, and I stopped making commitments that I wasn't sure about that I would be able to fulfill.
So that's how you've integrated the knowledge of this into your own life and how you walk through it, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I'm hoping like over time I'll learn like to kind of figure out what is worth proving or like or not trying to prove myself, but like just kind of proving myself through making the correct decisions.
Hmm. Actions speak
Yeah.
louder than words sometimes, right?
Yeah. Turns the
Yeah.
game that we're playing more into a game. You're like more a master of your avatar, and you know.
Yeah. Yeah, you're the passenger, you're witnessing things, and the passenger is not telling the driver where to go anymore, right? Which is what the mind tells the driver, right?
Mm.
Yeah. So you have an open sacral, so this is an energy resource. So this is about not knowing when enough is enough and can lead to burnout, which is yeah, projectors, manifestors, actors. Um, So you have an open head. So this is your inspiration. So this is a pressure to think about problems that don't necessarily matter to your own life.
Hmm.
So this is like other people's problems or issues. They kind of like sit in your head and you kind of just need to wait for that to clear. You find, and from my own personal experience, I found people with an open head making lists of things is really helpful.
Hmm.
Mm.
Like so it's kind of like you're putting down on paper what you have in your mind, like your to-do list, and then you don't have to think about it. You can just refer to your list.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
make a lot and alarms and you know everything. I don't. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. And then an open and then an open ajna is all about conceptualization. So the not self shows up here about trying to be certain or fixed in your own concepts. So you may be fixed in your own ideas because you have gate 11, or you're fixed in your own internal knowing. But the whole purpose of an open center is like you're kind of gaining the wisdom of, so by rejecting that you may not be fixed in your own concepts, you can kind of expand your consciousness and conceptualization. Does that make sense?
Yes, definitely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, the openness, everybody sees it as kind of a negative thing, but I see it as a positive place where you can gain wisdom. And then later on, you learn how to use the wisdom you gained in your openness, and you can sell that to other people. and create a business out of it.
Hmm.
Yeah, when you recognize what you're learning in all these centers,
Okay.
it's a journey.
Right.
Okay. And one thing I wanted to bring up in your chart is you have a small split, which is this gate 48 over here. So if you had gate 48 in your design, like defined, it would connect all of your energy centers together. But you see how they're not connected together because of this one missing split?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the gate of depth. So you may feel incomplete because you don't have enough depth in a certain skill or something that you have.
That sounds
And
sad.
you may try to, sorry?
So yeah, we kind of discussed this lightly already, but you said it's just like I
Yeah.
have to accept that and move on. You were just pretty cut and dry,
Oh,
like, oh,
no.
it is.
Yeah. Well, this gate is so funny because I really, I'm not well studied yet on this too much, but when you have the gate 16, which is the gate of skills, you kind of get it confused with having depth in things, but you just have skills. And then if you have the 48, which is the gate of depth, you kind of feel like you have skills if you're missing the 16. So it's kind of like, the two energies kind of play off of each other.
Yeah, you lost me on that, but let's not go too far.
Okay, yeah. Sorry. We could probably edit that out then.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't even like.
That's fine.
Yeah, I can't even catch on to what you just said. So I don't know if you feel like it's something that needs to be explained further. Then we can, because I really don't know.
Oh no, it's okay. I just found it interesting, like that people confuse, like when you have one energy, you
I do have a
confuse it with the
question
other.
about split. So, I mean, a lot of people
Yeah.
are split, and more than just like a small split. There's bigger splits, and so are all these people
Yeah.
never going to feel complete, or is it just my kind of split?
No, all those people will feel incomplete. So myself, I'm a triple split.
Oh,
So I have three kind of bundles of energy centers that are all separated from each other. So the only way I learn things is kind of moving through other people's energy and over time. So when I make decisions quickly, that really hurts.
hmm.
Okay.
You have a small split, but this is going to be the focus of your life, is gaining depth, right? When you only have one gate, it kind of becomes the focus of your life.
Oh.
So
Oh.
more
Okay.
so than these energy centers, you're focused on the gate 48, which is depth, which
What is
is
that?
maybe
Depth.
not feeling like you have enough depth to help somebody, so you keep studying and studying and studying.
Okay.
Does that sound
Lots.
right?
Yes. I mean, yeah. I guess slightly like obsessive with things that I delve into. Which
Yeah.
I mean, I spent about 10 years on conspiracy theories, like all of them. And then I've like gone off of that, and then I went on this whole like autism research, like for probably like 3 or 4 years of like the why, and what
Mhm.
and how and what, and all the theories that might go. And of course, it's a big question mark with autism still, but I think I have a general, through my research and studies, like I think I have a little bit understanding with all that. But and now it's spirituality, and like yeah. So now I'm spending years doing that. So I do tend to do that, and I'm can come off as the heretic, I guess, in my thing, in that way, to people who aren't receptive or like want to hear it, when I'm trying to like scream things from the rooftop to everybody.
Yeah, I have the heretic line as well in my unconscious design side, so I
Is
know what
mine
that's all about. It's
conscious? I didn't catch that part.
yours is conscious, so you're kind of aware of the projections people place upon you.
Mm,
Yeah, because
okay.
it's a projection. It's a projection line, so people will think that you can save them or help them with something, like, and they kind of and if you agree to helping them and you kind of fail, your reputation suffers, and then they kind of, this is why they call it the heretic line. They kind of want to burn you on the cross, right?
Mm.
Yeah. Because the heretic line, the line 5, is like the messenger of the system. It's the person who kind of brings the universal practical solution to people, and when you don't do that, people get upset.
Mm.
So you got to be really careful because it's all about your reputation there.
Okay, the pressure's on.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you want to talk about your profile now?
Sure.
Okay. So your profile is 5-1. So this is a transpersonal destiny. So you're designed to encounter others, which can be important and mutative for both of you. So as you bump into people and meet other people, you could be mutative to them, or they can be mutative to you, and or important in your life. So your
Wait, can I
conscious
stop you
heretic
first?
is
What you said? The
sorry?
main focus. You said the main focus of my life was the depth. Is it? Is that what you said?
Yes.
And
Like
which means what?
you may feel like you never like, so let's say you're helping people with spirituality, like let's say it becomes a business of yours in the future, and you'll never feel like you have enough depth to help them, so you'll keep studying and studying and studying to get the depth. But at some point you got to realize that you do have enough knowledge to help people, because sometimes people aren't looking for a total expert in the area, right? They
Right.
just need that little, that little message that you have, and that's why they came to you in the first place.
Oh.
Okay.
But
Sorry to go
yeah, so
backwards.
this is
I didn't catch that all the way, but
yeah,
okay.
that's okay. Yeah, so it's kind of like when you really feel into your own self, you're going to realize that you don't need all the that you think that you need. That's just the not self telling you you need to keep learning, because it's never going to be enough, or something like that, right?
Okay.
Like, you don't know enough to do this job that you're going to do, so you need to keep studying, and then you never actually get to doing the job that you were going to do,
Right.
right? Yeah.
Okay.
Do you find that happens in your life? Like, it kind of
Um,
holds you back from, like, you just don't think you have enough experience, or right?
yeah.
Because you have the skills.
Yeah. I don't. I mean, I guess. I could say I've just been a little scattered in my life, so I feel scattered and like never, yeah, able to like.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to do something with what I've put my time and into learning to be able to do something with that. Obviously that seems like maybe a direction I could be going.
I
Sort of.
feel like you're
So
doing that now by getting
yeah.
on these, interviews with people and expressing your
Mhm.
thoughts and sharing your ideas. I feel like you're doing that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm
Yeah.
yeah, I'm going following the flow. I'm in the flow and I'm taking in the what is it, neutrinos. Anyway, let's go. What's next?
Yeah. And since we're here, like, also you have the gate 9.1. So, like, remember I was telling you about your gate 16 skills, which is also in your earth design side,
Mm.
which is about having skills, right? And
Okay.
then your 9.1 is about focus, is the gate of focus. And because you don't have the gate 52, you may have trouble, like, sitting still to focus on things, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
So if you can't sit still to focus on something, that may lead you back to the gate 48, feeling like you don't have enough depth
Oh.
in that area.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. It does.
Yeah. So the whole human design system, it's very abstract or non-linear. So that's why I've been studying it for a year, but it's kind of like decoding a puzzle anytime you look at someone's design, and
Mm.
talking with them, to trying to get to the root of things.
Right. Okay. Okay.
So your conscious heretic is projected on to save or rescue others with a practical solution, and your unconscious investigator is getting to the bottom of things to build a secure foundation. So the line one, there's like this underlying insecurity. So it's about building, it's like having a foundation to eventually become an authority. Right? So you go from insecurity to security to becoming an authority for other people. Yeah, like you, because the line one is about establishing a foundation. It's a foundation line of the hexagram. So it's a very insecure line. So it gathers information. And then so it's moving from insecurity to security and eventually becoming an authority for others. You become
Oh,
an authority in whatever you were investigating.
Mm.
okay.
So you don't know, then
So if
you
you're in a
dive deep
system,
and you
you
learn,
become,
and then you become the one that teaches others.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe even the one that's breaking new ground in that field of study.
Only if they want to hear it from me, though, apparently. Right? Because, I mean, if I'm not invited, then I'm just, awful. Okay.
Okay, so continuing on with your profile. So during your encounters with other people, you're consciously aware at some level of being continually projected upon due to your seductive and alluring fifth line. You feel, others feel, without even knowing you, that you have something potentially helpful or significant that they need, that you need, guide, or help save them. So your success in life is all about your reputation to deliver practical solutions that everyone benefits from. It's important for you to know which projections are correct for you. It's healthy for you to be suspicious and a bit paranoid of the expectations of others. You may feel insecure or unsure that you can provide what the other person needs or wants, so it's important for you to get to the bottom of things. Through investigation, you build a foundation and can eventually be recognized as an authority. You benefit greatly from withdrawal or removing yourself from the projection field. So this is taking time alone yourself.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. And the whole time alone thing actually plays into your gate 33 here, which is the gate of retreat.
Huh.
Which is kind of taking your alone time to be with past experiences and kind of figure out what they mean so you can share them with other people. Okay, so the last thing I have is I can cover your cross, which is like about 70% of the energy you bring. It's like your purpose in life or who you're here to be.
Okay.
So we'll start in your personality sun, which is gate 55.5, which is the gate of spirit.
Angel number.
Mm.
Yeah,
Spirit.
yeah, 555. The gate of spirit.
Oh, that's over up
That's
in the
this
right
one.
corner.
That's
Okay.
this.
I like that.
So this is the gate of spirit. So abundance is strictly a question of spirit. Your mood determines what and when something is correct for you. It is not healthy for you to do things when you are not in the mood. You are most creative when feeling deeply melancholic, and the melancholy feels like this emptiness, and it carries a potential for addiction too. So this is the gate 55.
Okay.
And it has a quality of growth. So because it's in the fifth line. So
Did I say that right? I don't know.
oh yeah, growth. It's you have an emotional openness where the spirit is at risk from conditioning. So conditioning is not necessarily a good or a bad thing.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
And what conditioning is good for you and which is not.
Huh. Okay.
And then and then your 55.5 is grounded in the gate 59, which is the gate of sexuality. And this is the ability to break down and bond with a mate or collaborate on a business venture with another person. There's a need for deep connection with others. And this energy can also be confusing to people that you meet. And because your 59 is a 0.5, this is kind of how you bond with people as the femme fatale, or like a Casanova type if you're a guy.
Mm,
Spicy.
okay.
So what happens is people are kind of seduced by this energy.
It's supposed to be learning.
It could be confusing because you're not planning on seducing them. They just either get seduced with you, or you could become seduced by them.
Mm, okay.
Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And on your design side, you have that line, which is in focus. So this is attention to detail, fascination to focus on anything and everything for prolonged periods. When clear during focus, you make efficient use of both physical and mental energy of those around you. And your focus is grounded in the gate of skills, gate 16, which is the art of enriching life by the harmonic channeling of energy, skillfully mastering something. This is typically music, arts, or dance. When you identify with a skill, you repeat it until you master it. You need to be material supported to concentrate on your skills. This is a throat gate over here, so it actually has a voice of I experiment or identify. So you may identify with a particular activity, and once you do, you try to master it. The 16 line value is illusion, which is the expression of talent through daydreaming. Express your talent through daydreaming. Make sense?
Yeah, I would say yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like yeah.
Are you pretty artistic?
No, I'm not that artistic. I mean, I enjoy photography, and so in that way, but no, I haven't. But it makes me wonder. Growing up, I wasn't really given opportunities to spend time and learn things or have extracurricular. I didn't have a lot of that going on. Like I wasn't supported in the way or supplied with hey, let me I don't know. I was just I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, but so yeah, I don't know. It's too I feel like I have some missed opportunities. Like maybe I need to focus on something. And I could become seriously skilled at something. Is this true? Do I need to figure that out?
Yeah, for sure.
But the
Yeah,
spiritual
you just need to figure out kind of
I mean, I'm obviously putting my attention on stuff where, I mean, may not benefit me in financial ways or whatever, but it's yeah, I'm for my own internal need to know things I look at.
Right.
You know what I mean? Anyway.
You're satisfying your own satiations.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which I guess could become useful, hopefully. That would be cool.
Yeah.
I'm going off, but anyway. Go ahead.
That's okay. I wanted to point you to this. This has been a point of my life, is this gate 29 here in the sacral center. So this is the gate of saying yes. So it's kind of a mechanical gate where you may agree to things without even realizing you're agreeing to them. So you say yes before you've actually given yourself time to think about it. So it's also it's about committing to things. So it's just something to be aware, right? When you're for your decision making, is to give yourself time to say yes, right?
Don't commit too soon is what you're saying?
Yeah, because it's kind of like someone might ask you something and then you'll just say yes to it and you'll be like, oh, why did I say yes?
Uh-huh.
So
And
it goes back
it's
to that
basically
whole
because you have the
sleeping on it thing,
29.
right? I'm sorry to talk over you. I apologize.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I don't know.
Okay. I'm so glad I get to rewatch this and
Right?
hey Donald, no. So I need to like not get too stuck on this, but we can move on. I'll have questions later for you.
Okay.
Whatever it
Yeah,
doesn't.
I think I'm done. Yeah.
So, Donald, thank you so much for showing us all of that information. Those charts are definitely interesting and they look super intricate. So, I'm definitely going to have to rewatch this and rehear the things you said. And then I'm sure I'll come up with a list of questions. So, I'll be in touch. Thank you for showing us that. I really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. I
Yeah.
really appreciate it. Well,
Thank you for having me on and letting me share the human design system with your community.
You're great at explaining things. You're a really good teacher. And I like that you take the time to make sure that we're actually understanding what we're saying and asking reflective questions rather than just moving on to the next thing. So I find that really valuable when it comes to this kind of thing.
definitely.
Yeah.
I've definitely noticed that you're very good at that. So yeah.
Props to Donald.
All right. So, Donald, you mentioned your spiritual awakening. Can you tell us a little bit about how that came about?
All right. Well, I guess back in 2020, I was kind of caught up in the conspiracy movement,
Okay.
and there was a lot of fear in that movement. And over the 2 years, I got really kind of down and depressed, and I was like, "Why am I doing this?" And I was thinking some pretty dark thoughts. And out of nowhere, when I was gonna probably act on some of that stuff, a friend at work kind of came to me, and she got me meditating, and she got me listening to some great music, and through meditation and stuff like this, just the most interesting stuff just started happening, like synchronicities and
Mm.
stuff. And I was just going with it, and I think my family thought I was crazy at the time too. But there was a lot of weird energy going on, and by May of 2022, I was being, or no, sorry, February rather, I was being hit by like just like energy from above, and it was like a Kundalini awakening.
Mm.
So I went through that, and yeah, it was very. I didn't even know what a Kundalini was. Like, so before all this, I didn't know anything about spirituality. Just nothing
Wow.
about any of this stuff. And it was just like a total shift of my life into this new life that I'm kind of just walking in now.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
That's
really amazing.
Yeah.
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 It like you're just like it. This is what you're doing, and now you're following it. I feel like you're just doing what. Yeah, you're following the signs. So I guess, and the Kundalini, obviously, that's something I don't know. I haven't experienced that, so.
And that's also synchronicity to Silver Girl's interview because she also came into spirituality, or let me rephrase that, Kundalini, the awareness of that came into her awareness early on in her spiritual journey as well. And that acted as like a catalyst that got her into all these other things like energy healing and Reiki and yoga and all that other stuff. So I
Mhm.
find that very similar to her story.
Yeah, she didn't know what that was either.
Yeah, she had no clue. The idea of it just kind of dropped into her awareness and she's like, "Okay, what is that and how am I supposed to use it? How is it going to help me?"
But for you,
Yeah.
you just had it, right? You had the Kundalini awakening. It wasn't like
Well,
you.
well, yeah, it happened during a meditation I was doing.
Oh.
It was like I kind of during the meditation, I was so deep in the meditation that I detached from myself. And I used to do like a lot of spin bike at the gym. So it was kind of like this frequency and I could hear it. So I was like, oh, I wonder how fast I could make this go. And so I kept on speeding it up until it just became a pure tone. And then I felt this wave of energy go over me. And I could see inside. It was the first time I saw anything in a meditation. I could see my spine lighting up like,
Wow.
and then the next day, yeah, just things started getting weird after that. Yeah.
Okay.
I was kind of like
Cool.
spontaneous. I didn't even know I wasn't doing Kundalini yoga or anything. And, I don't, I recommend if anyone's going to get into that stuff to research what you're doing before, or like research what happens before you just get into it, because it's a lot of energy to handle.
Yeah.
And then you get the knots in your stomach, and then there was a breathing technique I found online about how to breathe through that. And then once it released, it was really interesting. Meditations where you could see all my chakras and stuff, which I didn't even know what what colors they were until I could see them. Like I
Wow.
never did any research on any of this stuff.
Wow.
So how did
Okay.
it feel
That's
the first time you saw a picture of a lit up chakra system? Was it like, oh wow, I've seen that before?
Yeah, like your sacral chakra is actually orange and the root is red. Yeah,
Very interesting.
they're in order.
Yep.
Yeah. But
So that leads me to the follow-up question. How has your spiritual awakening and human design changed your life? How has it impacted the way you view yourself?
Okay, well, after my spiritual awakening or the Kundalini, you kind of feel like you're the Buddha walking on Earth, and you're just kind of aware of things going on, and you're like thinking to yourself, like, I don't need to eat, I don't need to kid. This is all make believe. But human design allowed me to kind of get back into my body and reintegrate with my family because I still had
Dang it.
children to support, stuff like that, right? Children and a wife and a home and a mortgage to pay. So
Okay, so Donald, what resources do you suggest that people use in order to learn more about this? Like, can you tell us a good website to go to, or a good book to look at, or a good YouTube channel, or a person to look into? Like, give us the tea on where we can learn more about this.
anyone interested in human design or learning about human design, there's a book called The Definitive Book of Human Design, The Science of Differentiation.
Okay, and who's the author on that?
This is Linda Blenell and Ra Uruhu.
Excellent.
Okay.
And also, I'm in a mentorship with Leanne Wolf, and she also sells a self-study program. So she's done all the courses from the International Human Design School, and she's offering that for a budgeted price, through her teaching. So it's all source material. And you basically pay for the program, and you can do it as long as you want. And if you do buy the self-study, you actually get her mentorship program as well for the first 3 months. So you get to go to like live discussions about human design and ask questions and to see if it's for you.
What's your experience been like with that masterclass?
Oh, it's really fun. Meeting a lot of good people, and it's a range of like people that are new to human design and people that have been in human design for like 7+ years. So
So it's a course
takes,
and an opportunity to ask questions as you're learning. So it's kind of like a reinforcement system. I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
yeah, very supportive.
Okay, I have another question. How can this be used in a family scenario or in like a business setting? Because I know that earlier you mentioned your youngest daughter's chart and how you work with her based on her human design. So is there a way to do like a group scenario, like if there's a team of people working together, or like a family scenario, and then this way you understand the unit?
Yeah, so what you can do is when you've collected the birth information for your family members, you can put them all into what's called a penta. So a penta is anywhere from 3 to 5 people that kind of will all be living in the same space, or it could even be like a business group. And you can see kind of what energies that are there and what's missing. So for example, my family is missing gate 8. We have all the other gates in the penta. And that just means that we're not really an outgoing family that's like, taking pictures with all the same Santa outfits on and stuff like that. We're not promoting our family unit, but when people come in, they see it, when they come to our house.
Okay.
But also you can use it to raise your children. So if you know your child's a generator, asking them yes or no questions. do you want to eat this? And seeing their response and like allowing them to really lean into their own response, right?
Okay.
Instead of telling them, no, no, you have to eat the beans that I made because, you know, and stuff like that is what people commonly do with their kids.
So I'm a generator, and that's exactly what my parents did. They're like, this is what's for dinner. You don't eat it. Tough.
Yeah.
There was another
Yeah.
word that came after that, but I'll save it.
I'm sure it was nuggets.
Right.
Tell us about 2027.
Okay. Right. So in 2027, we're changing from the cross of planning, which is 412 years of the cross of planning. And now we're moving into another 412-year cycle in the cross of the sleeping phoenix. And we're moving from a line 1 energy, which is kind of going from like fear and insecurity and looking for foundations like governments and stuff to guide us, into an energy that's more of a line 6 energy, which is like this role model energy. Why should people get involved with things? And also, it also looks for integrity in people. So maybe we'll be electing more people for governments that have integrity and transparency going forward, because we won't be able to be lied to about a lot of the stuff that's going on.
We're going to see
So that's
straight
what I
through
kind
the
of see for the
BS.
future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's hopeful.
Yeah. And
Yay!
and another good thing is, like, we don't have to save everybody. The 100 monkeys thing. So as everybody works on themselves, it expands the consciousness and allows other people that opportunity to work on themselves. And I think as a collective, we're going to be doing some pretty cool things in the future.
Yeah. Exciting.
I've heard that 2027 or by 2027, we should have some kind of open contact. So
Yeah, that would
Grant
be amazing.
was saying something about like next year. I don't know. So yeah.
Well, supposedly, there's rumors floating around on UFO Twitter that President Biden is in the process of writing out a speech to give like a White House Oval Office address
to address the nation.
to address the nation about this NHI presence and UAP presence after the NDAA is passed in for 2024.
Yeah.
So anyway, so there's rumors floating around. I hope they come true. I hope the president will tell the people that we are not alone.
I mean, I don't need the government to tell me that, but
Yeah.
I think that it would be like a great step forward in the progression of this
Right.
disclosure effort, because I know that a lot of other countries watch what we do.
Mhm.
So like, I feel like if we open up that conversation, other countries will, and then it'll just be a worldwide
Right.
conversation, which it needs to be. It needs to be, because this affects all of humanity from the beginning.
I mean, to be honest, I think disclosure has already happened. I think that they've already, without coming out and saying it, they've admitted numerous times that there are, objects in our skies that we don't know what they are.
Yeah, basically just that though. Like, how much do they really have that we would like to see and know about? And no, whatever. Who knows how much is hidden?
Right. And the fact that there's people in Congress opposing the Schumer amendment right now is kind of an admission of guilt. Because they're saying that if there really is nothing there, then why don't they just pass it? I mean, they're only allocating 1 to 2 million, which is chump change in in the Department of Defense.
Compared to the whole budget, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's literally just a dime in the bucket for these people, and if there's nothing there, why are they fighting so hard against it?
Because there is.
Yeah. Right. So, it's just.
It's all going to happen just like the exit the same way. And so, yeah, it's falling apart. It's going to be all right.
Right.
We're
Right.
spiritual beings.
We
Experience.
chose a really cool time to be on this planet, you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, we are
It's awesome.
literally watching history be made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then with everybody's awakening, spiritual awakenings, you know, I feel like there's been so many people that have had a spiritual awakening within the last 2 to 3 years.
2020
that
really
it
was a
is
huge catalyst for a
phenomenal.
lot of people.
Right, right. And because everybody is catching on, you know, it's kind of like a snowball effect.
That 100th monkey effect
Yeah,
that
the
you just
100 monkey,
mentioned.
right. Everybody's going to start to realize that, you know, that we are going down, you know, this not so great path for the planet.
Yeah, that if we keep doing the stuff that we're doing,
Yeah.
it's going to be our demise ultimately.
Right, right. So I feel like everybody, you know, coming to terms with their spirituality, you know, is in a way going to help uh, our planet and our way of life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and with this coming up in 2027, you know, with I feel like we're on the precipice of something really great.
We're on that roller coaster clicking up the thing and we're
Yeah.
about to go swoosh.
Right. Right. I'm excited.
All the neutrinos from the solar flares and everything else.
Yeah.
Foods were like, you know, things are happening. The
Yeah.
energy is popping.
I'm here for it.
I'm here for it too.
And I'm feeling it.
I'm super excited.
Cool. So Donald, I have a question. Where do you see yourself taking all of this knowledge? What if you had to manifest your best life, best case scenario around this whole human design thing? Speak it into existence. What do you want to do with this? Where do you want to see it go?
That's a good question.
I know.
I'm kind of just running by response these days. I could see this being used in so many areas because I generate a lot of ideas, always thinking about the past. So you think about our prison system and why are most people in the prison system, right? Because they're being punished for maybe who they are, and maybe human design could be used in the prison system to get people out of it, right? Like when they come out, they can actually be who they are,
Oh,
right? I can see
that's
this being,
a great thought. I love that.
yeah, you know, it could be used in the school systems, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Right? We could teach kids to listen to their inner authority, and you know, they would grow up just kind of like listening to themselves and being their own authority in the world.
I really love
Yeah, it could
that.
be very
Yes.
That resonates a lot with me because, again, as being an educator and working with kids for like 10 years, one of the things that I always implemented at the beginning of the school year was a learning style survey. Because if I know how my kids learn best, then I can present that information to them in the way that they can receive it. So that's basically what you're saying, to where if people understand their human design, then they could walk through life in a more empowered way.
Yeah. I mean, like, we would have like enlightened children walking around. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm. Emotionally like conscious and having emotional intelligence.
yes.
Yeah. And also, the school system's kind of geared towards left brain people. So we didn't really talk about variables in the human design, but for left brain children, they need to take tests on what they're learning. And for right brain children, they kind of the information needs to be extracted from them. So teaching other students about what they're learning is how they learn, right? So some of this could be implemented in the school system, just, you know, to help kids absorb the information.
Mm.
Yeah. That makes so much sense.
I see a great potential for this.
I did
Awesome.
have jotted on my notes here, human design and health, I guess overall health of physical and mental health. I mean, it's obviously a tool that can help you be your, like, you know, the optimal health in both of those areas. Wouldn't you agree? And then deconditioning is another thing I just wrote down with a question mark. So deconditioning, but that's like a process that we go through when we're learning how to work our design and to stop doing the
Yeah.
things, you know, the not self, I guess, would be the deconditioning part of that.
It's about recognizing when your mind's making decisions for you, or you're giving your authority to things that are outside of yourself.
Hmm.
right? And it's about taking back your power in life. It's a very empowering system.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. I'm all about it too.
Okay.
So it's not about getting hung up. People can get hung up on their past traumas and stuff, or you can say, okay, well, really, what was that trauma meant to teach me, right?
Yes.
And how can I use that to help other people?
Yes. Hashtag shadow work.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
Thank you so much, Donald.
Mhm.
Oh, ask the famous question.
Okay, so there's a question that I'd like to ask all of our guests. And that question is, what is your greatest hope for the future of humanity?
I guess my greatest hope is that we can all be individual aspects of a whole, and we get to experience each other that way.
Okay.
Cool.
Because we all
Because
are each our
right now,
diamond, right?
We what?
yeah,
We're each
we're
diamond.
already individuals. We kind of homogenize ourselves, right? So everybody gets the same education. Everybody eats the same sort of foods. You know, if you're going on a diet, everybody does the same sort of diet regimen, right? But it might not be correct for everybody, right?
Right.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then it's, you know, not judging other people, or,
Yeah,
you know, accepting somebody for who they are and them seeing you for who you are, right?
Synchronicity.
Yeah.
When we interviewed Megan Brown, who had an NDE, she was in heaven hanging out with a bunch of celebrities and archangels and deities and whatnot. And the main message that God gave her is that acceptance is synonymous with love.
Right.
So if we take the time to accept everybody for who they are and what strengths they have and what they can bring to the table, rather than trying to stick everybody through the same mold and get the same product, then we will be a better whole.
Right.
100.
Yeah, that's a good message.
Thank you so much. So I'm super grateful. I'm super, like, my mind is spinning right now worse than it already does because I have so many things and thoughts going through my brain. But thank you so much for going into so much detail and for taking the time to do our individual charts and to have notes and to explain things to us. So where can people find you if they want to have the same similar kind of experience? Like if somebody wants to get in touch with you to get their human design chart explained for them, tell us where we can find you.
So right now I'm currently on your server in the human design, or people can send me privates if they want.
Okay.
And I can set something up with them.
Excellent. So HellO AlliE Discord server, and check out the human design channel.
Yep.
And you could just send him a message in there, pose your questions, and get your answers. Thank you guys so much. This was an amazing conversation. I'm really grateful for this knowledge. And hopefully we could do another episode where Justin gets his chart explained, because he's got a million questions.
Oh yeah, I really want to know how I fit into everything that's going on and everybody that's around me, and
Yeah.
that would be amazing.
And something you might want to do too is you can take a couple chart and you can put the two charts together and kind of see how the relationship goes.
Okay.
So there's ways to elevate this. Okay.
Cool.
Like that.
Oh yeah. This can work in couples therapy too. Like, human design has so many functions. You can just add it to whatever your other modality of work is. You don't have to go too deep into the system.
Okay.
Get
That's
something out of it.
Yeah, you can basically add it on whatever field you're in. You just add on the HD aspect to it. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
This is exciting stuff.
Allie
Yeah,
and
thank you
Justin,
so much.
Yes.
All right,
it's been
thank you guys.
talking about the human design
Absolutely.
and learning.
Donald, thank you. Leslie, thank you. Justin, thank you. And to our watchers and viewers and our community family members, thank you as well. Do us a favor while you're here. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, smash that notification bell, drop us a comment down below. Let us know what you thought of the content. And on top of all that, share this with your family and friends so we can get the message out of love, acceptance, human design, and how to live your best life through all of that. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate
Thank you.
everybody's time. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.